All right, we're talking with Kevin Krigger here. He is the 2025 Jockey Champion. I know we're a little early here, but Kevin, you've got this championship wrapped up. Let's start from the beginning here a little bit. This isn't your first go round up here in the Northwest, and then you've been a very successful rider at many tracks all over the country. Last year you came back up here in our little corner of the United States here. What drew you back here to begin with after being all over so many other different tracks, and you're highly successful?
Well, you know what actually drew me back? I was back East Kentucky, Indiana area riding, and I wanted to see if I could ride on the dark days over there out here. And at the time I started thinking about it, Rosales actually messaged me and like, hey, you want to come out here and ride? I'll give you the barn to ride. And I was like, sure, I would. But and I came out here, I chose an agent that he wasn't really too fond of, and he decided not to use me, so I ended up basically riding first car for Justin, and it was a success all summer long, and that's how I ended up back out here.
Now, your first go-round out here, this isn't your first championship. This will be your second Emerald Downs Riding Championship, and you use that and it's kind of a springboard to bigger and better things for you. And then coming back here, was the decision after you came back last year going, yeah, I want to come back here in 2025, or were you considering other options?
After last year, I definitely wanted to come directly back to Emerald Downs. I ran second last year to Alex, and I came back here with all intents to try to get the championship for myself. So yeah, definitely made it one plus to come here.
This is the 50th day of racing. I think we can count on one hand the number of days that you did not get a win this year. You nearly won a race every single race day. Coming into this, I know you have confidence in yourself. Did you expect that type of success so quickly, especially at the beginning? You got off to such a hot start.
Yeah, I expected that kind of success. I expected more, and it was a good challenge Americano put up as an apprentice, and he kind of pushed me to keep pushing, and the both of us kind of had a match race the entire meet, and he made me work hard for it, definitely.
Well, and you did, and one of the things, over the last couple of years is that the top riders and wins haven't necessarily had that same success in the stakes side of things. I'm not sure anyone has ever done what you did on Mile Day here. I'm not even sure if you know what you did on Mile Day, but you had 6 rides. I mean, it's not often they have 6 stakes races in a day. You had 6 rides, and you hit the board you won 2 of them, and you hit the board on all 6, including, I think you had, 3 seconds?
Yeah.
And a 4th.
Yeah.
Your number was on the board in all 6 stakes races. That, of course, I know you wanted to win the mile.
Yeah, definitely.
But still 2 stakes wins, and you weren't on 1 to 5 shots here.
No.
Just take me back through that day. That was a huge day for you.
Well, coming into the mile day, I was expecting a huge day out of my horses because I knew the horses I was riding, and I was named on the one in the distaff, and then they took me back off to put Alex on, and luckily, unfortunate for Alex, he got dropped that day, and luckily I was able to pick her back up to make me get 2 stake winners actually. So a lot of things just fell into place that day for me, and having the good horses and trying to get the best trips and giving them the best shot,
Watching you all throughout the year, it seemed like you really understood this track. And there are some days where I got to be within a length of someone, and then to even have a shot.
Yeah.
And others, no, you know what? We need to be 3 or 4 off and let them run on the front.
Yeah.
You really, that knowledge of this track can be a little tricky for guys that don't really know it.
Yeah, definitely. The track differs every day, so you kind of have to adapt to the track as the race goes. And sometimes, just riding the race itself makes me look probably better than I actually do, because I just end up finding myself in the right position and try to time it perfectly, and I try to put every aspect into the race, and most of the times it boils out to where it worked out perfect. Sometimes I come up a little short, but yeah, this track, like I tell everybody, I know this track by the back of my hand, and the Macanas broke me into this track, and Tim and Boone, between the two of them, I always expect the same kind of good ride out of me, and from the time I came here, that's how I formed the connection with the track, because I had like Boone, who was a great agent, and Macana was the leading trainer at the time. They kind of showed me like, you want to win on this track, this is how you ride, and sometimes you just follow the little instructions and fundamentals, and you keep doing it, it becomes a habit, and that's just basically how it goes.
I'll tell you what, if you're on the lead, on the backstretch, and the first quarter's 23 and change, and they let you go at 45, it's over.
It's over. You're right. You're definitely right. I feel the same way too, going down the backstretch. I have a great clock, and I could tell when I'm going 45, 44, 46, 47. I always know how fast I'm going. I think that's a big plus too. So when I'm in a race and I could tell, man, I'm going down the backstretch 47, like, yeah, definitely.
Coming back, and then like the season that we're wrapping up here, the attendance, and when new jockeys come and have never been here before, they're always surprised at the noise that Turn for Home and Carlo Lopez, who was here a couple of years ago, it was a 4-horse opening race in the opener, and he says, like, we came down the stretch and all this noise, I didn't know what it was. Literally said, this is really the first time I've raced in front of people in like 10 years.
Yeah.
And so what's it like to come back and have and just know that it's loved up here?
You know what? That's a good point you made. Emerald Downs have like some of the greatest fans in the country. You come here and the fan is like legitimately, we have a good crowd every day of racing here. And the crowd participates with the race, and not just like come and watch the races, but they have their favorite jockeys, they have their favorite horses. You'll be surprised how many of the kids interact with us and know us as on a daily basis. It's like you have families that come here every weekend, and like they come and greet us, and it's this is one place shows a lot of hospitality, point blank. Yeah.
It makes it fun. It makes it more. It feels like.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're at home racing. This is as close to like feeling like you're at home. Definitely.
All right. What's the future here for Kevin? I mean, you've been at this for a while now. I see the gray and the goatee.
Yeah, the gray is popping up here and there, but I'm still a lot in my youth. I still have a lot of youth left in me, and I'm enjoying myself riding right now. So, I'm just going to be riding and making the most of it. Don't know where I'm going to be going exactly after this meet. I've got all kind of options right now.
Well, you have options, but unfortunately, some of the options are disappearing.
Yeah.
If you want to stay on the West Coast,
definitely.
There's only a couple, right?
Yep.
Ventura Paradise, but like we've said, I've seen it at Gulfstream, I've
Yeah.
seen it at Indianapolis,
Definitely.
I've seen it at a whole lot of different tracks all over.
Yeah.
So no matter where you go, you're going to be.
I'm gonna work hard regardless where I go, and that's basically helps to make you successful. I knock on your door every day. Yeah, definitely.
One last thing I want to ask you about, and that is, last week it was it, or 2 weeks ago, you went to your back home?
Yeah, last week. It was actually Sunday. Last week Sunday.
Yeah. Tell us about how special that was, and tell everyone where home is.
Yeah, okay. I'm actually from St. Croix, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and I went to St. Thomas, which is the sister island to St. Croix. There's 3 islands that makes up the U.S. Virgin Islands. We got St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John. St. Thomas is right now the capital. St. Croix used to be what St. Thomas is now. I went home to ride a match race down there, and it was a very special day for me also, because I rode the horse that I competed against before. I won 2 races on him, and the horse that I rode was for a trainer named Rashawn Cricky. He trained horses in Florida, and if 2 years ago I made my comeback in Gulfstream Park with him, and we won our first 2 races back together. Both of us made a comeback together, and we won our first 2 races together. So after that, came back to riding. And when I was up here the other day, and he called me and he was like, "Man, I got a lot on the line right now. We got a match races, winner takes all, and down there, they do a lot of hand-to-hand betting, so they had a lot of money bet on the side." And he's like, "I'll make it worth it for you, definitely." And he made it worth it for me, and I flew down there. He's one of the few people that would have, even in a battle for leading rider like this, I would take the time out, because I mean, he's a good friend of mine. He's been there for me in a lot of tough times, and if he called me in a time like that and I felt like I could miss a day and make it up, so I did. I took it for him. Yeah.
Extra special because I saw your video you put up on your Facebook.
Yeah.
Your dad was there.
Yeah, my dad was there. I flew him over so he could get to see the race. Yeah, that was actually the first time I heard my dad root for me, and Ann Wisdom was there. She was the one actually that videotaped that race. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That special moment.
That was a very special. It was very special having Ann there with me, and just having her there. She was able to capture my dad cheering me on, you know. So that was kind of like a double special moment.
Well, hey, congratulations on a great year. I sure hope that you get to come back up, or you come back up to defend your title next year. We know things can happen between now and when racing starts, but a very special year here for you. You rode great from start to finish, and it's great to get to know you. And
thank you very much. Likewise, and I definitely would like to come back and defend my title next year.
We hope you do.
Yeah.
Kevin Krigger, thank you much.
Thank you.